A misconception that people have is that they think that Pablo Escobar owned an island in the Bahamas. Pablo Escobar never actually owned Norman's Cay, but is commonly referred to as Pablo Escobar's Island. Back when I was flying the caravan, I would be scheduled to pick up and drop off passengers to Norman's Cay, and I would spend some time there, and I would always assume that this island was previously owned by Pablo Escobar himself. Norman's Cay is a small island about 30 nautical miles southeast of Nassau, and it's a part of the Exumas, which are a chain of islands in the Bahamas. In 1978, Carlos Leder, who was the co-founder of the Medellin cartel, began buying a property in Norman's Cay. He threatened and harassed residents, forcing everyone off the island. Once they were gone, he then bribed the prime minister at the time, which was Sir Lynden Pinland, making the island his. Pablo Escobar was also a part of the Medellin cartel, and the misconception here is that Pablo Escobar himself owned the island. Pablo did not own the island, but he was just a part of the cartel that headquartered their production on the island. And also, Carlos Leder also didn't officially own the island, he just bribed the prime minister. There's no mention of any paperwork or documents that were signed making the island his. It's just noted that the prime minister was bribed. From 1978 to 1982, Carlos used Norman's Cay to traffic drugs into Florida using small aircraft like the Piper Navajo and the Curtiss C-46 Commando. He added an airstrip that is about 3,300 feet long, which has now been increased to 4,700 feet. The island was used as a refuel and rest stop before proceeding to the United States. The island was also heavily guarded with dogs and armed men, and also had a radar so they can track aircraft flying around Norman's Cay. In 1982, U.S. and Bahamian law enforcement began to crack down on the drug operations, and Carlos was arrested in 1987 in Colombia. Another interesting fact is that in 2017, Billy McFarland, he had previously arranged for Fire Festival to be held in Norman's Cay. The owners of the island agreed on one condition, and that was for Billy to not make any reference to Pablo Escobar's connection to the island. When McFarland released promotional footage for Fire Festival, he advertised it as once owned by Pablo Escobar, and the owners of the island quickly canceled that arrangement. Norman's Cay is notably mentioned and recorded on the Netflix series Griselda, Narcos, and as previously mentioned, the Netflix documentary Fire.